We're going to start today with a body scan in standing. So go ahead and find a place on the mat and just step your feet in place for about 10 steps or so, just so they're in a more natural stance than maybe if you were thinking that you needed to stand a certain way. Once you find your position, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and start to notice how your body feels. How does it feel today? How light do you feel? How heavy? How do you feel in relationship to gravity around you? How about in relationship to the people next to you or the objects next to you? Are you aware of them? Do you feel like you have your own space around you? We're going to start at your feet. So just start to notice your feet and how they feel on the floor or the ground or the mat. And notice, where do you feel more pressure or more of your body weight? Maybe it's more than one foot than the other, front of the feet, back of the feet. Maybe each foot has a different experience. Maybe you're really aware of the weight on the ball of one foot, the heel of the other foot. Maybe it's towards the insides of your arches or the outsides of your pinky toe side of your foot. Wherever it is, just notice. Don't judge. Don't try to fix it. Just notice where you're starting and how you feel. Moving up from your feet, checking in with the lower part of your legs. Are your legs even with each other? Are they in the same plane, or does one feel like it's behind the other one? Does it feel like they have any rotation to them? If you drew a line out from the front of your shin bone, would that line intersect with the other leg, or would they stay parallel to each other and going out into a distance? Moving up into your knees, does it feel like your knees are locked out or just relaxed and resting there? If you were to drop a line down from your knees, where would it hit in your foot? At your heel, in front of your heel, your arch, or towards your toes? Moving up to your thighs, are your thighs touching each other? How much of the skin do you feel on each leg? Do you feel more aware of one leg than the other leg? Does it feel like the thigh bones are neutral, rotated towards each other, or rotated away from each other? Does it feel like the angles of the thigh bones are similar? Or maybe does it feel like one's coming more towards your center of your body or more coming out to the outside of your body than the other one? How much tension do you feel in your quads? Are you aware of your hamstrings? Moving up your thighs, around your inner thighs, around your pelvis, noticing what does it feel like there? Are you holding any tension on your back side? Are you literally being a tight ass? Are you aware of your pubic bone, of your sits bones? How about the top of your pelvis? Does it feel like your pelvis is slightly tilted forward, parallel to the ground, or slightly tucked under? Does it feel like one side is more in front of the other side, or do they feel fairly parallel to each other? If you took a line and dropped it down towards your feet, are your pelvis in line with your heels, in front of your heels, over your arch, or more towards the ball of your feet? Moving into your spine, how does your spine feel? How does your back feel? Do you have any pressure or tension? Is it the right side, the left side, or the middle, or does it feel pretty even? Are you aware of any curves in your spine? How are the curves? They go front to back, side to side, or do they rotate? Moving into the front side, how is your belly? Do you feel a lot of tension in your abdominal muscles? or does it feel like they're fairly relaxed? Moving into your rib cage, notice, does your rib cage position feel like it mirrors or is similar to the position of your pelvis, or is it opposite? Is it slightly tipped forward, held upright, or slightly tipped back? Is one side of the rib cage more forward than the other? Are you aware of your sternum, right? Your breastbone, does it feel like it's being held up in space by like an imaginary string, or does it feel like it's resting on your heart? Take a little bit deeper breath, inhale through your nose, and notice where the air goes. Is it even three-dimensionally around the rib cage? Is it more in the front of your upper chest, more in the front of your lower chest, just the sides of your body? Do you feel anything in the back side of your body, lower or upper? Maybe take one more breath like that to notice. And even noticing how it changed compared to the first breath. Moving into the shoulders and the hands. Check in with the tips of the shoulders. Do they feel level, in the same plane with each other? Or is one lower down than the other? Is one more forward than the other? Moving into your arms, if I were to look at you from behind, would I see your thumbs, your palm of your hand, or your pinkies? Are your hands touching your body? If they're touching your body, does it feel like they're touching in a similar spot on each side? Moving into your neck and head, does it feel like your neck has a curve to it, or is it pretty straight and flat? Does it feel like your head is just sort of placed on top, or is it more forward or more back, tilted up towards the sky or down towards the ground? If I were to draw a line directly out from your nostrils, is it parallel to the ground, or is it angled up or down? Moving into your eyes, does it feel like your eyeballs are really in the front of your head, like really right behind your eyelids, or are they sunk back a little bit? How much space is there between your eyelids and your eyeball? Moving into your ears, does it feel like they're level, right and left ear? Are you more aware of sound on one side of your body or the other? Can you feel your hair? The root of the hair, the ends of the hair. Just noticing. Take one more overall scan of your body and remember what it feels like, because we'll come back to this check-in throughout the session. Now you can open your eyes. You're going to start wiggling your fingers, shake them out, get a little energy flowing in your arms. And then you're going to inhale through your nose and reach your arms up by your side. Fingertips reach towards the sky or the ceiling, and then you're going to follow your eyes to your fingertips. And without shrugging your shoulders up, but actually with pressing your feet into the ground, can you grow a little bit taller on the sides of your body? One more breath here. Inhale through the nose, and then exhale, arms down by your side. Again, inhale, arms up. Follow with your gaze. Slightly reach your chin up. Grow taller through your feet and side body, and then exhale your arms down. Again, inhale up. Eyes follow. Ground through your feet, lengthen side body. Now drop your right hand down, slide it down your right side, coming into right side bending. Slightly shift your weight to the inside edge of your right foot, pushing your hips out towards the left. Pay attention to see if your pelvis feels like it's rotating. Try to keep it parallel, right side to left side. Take a big inhale breath here, ground through the left foot, reach through the left fingertips. And then on the exhale, come back up, reach the right arm up. Inhale for length again, both sides of your body, ground through your feet. And on the exhale, lower your left hand down, come into left side bending. Ground through your right foot, press your hips to the right. Find the inside edge of your left arch. On the exhale, see if you can get a little deeper. One more inhale breath here, connect your right foot and your right fingertips. And then exhale, come back up. Reach the left arm back to the sky. From here, your arms are going to come back down by your side. Take one more inhale breath. And then on the exhale, nod your chin right at, so it feels like you're nodding right at the base of your nose. Soften your sternum and roll down one bone at a time. Imagining each bone in your spine lifts up before it folds forward, like a big candy cane position. You'll get to the spot right around your liver where it feels like you're a little stuck. Bend your knees slightly so you can keep your weight shifted forward. And then pause here, take an inhale breath through your nose, and then a big exhale, ha breath. See if you can lift your liver up and over, just like your spinal segments. Moving on to your pelvis, it lifts up and over the heads of your femurs as you come into a full forward fold. Again, keep your weight shifted forward, so bend your knees as much as you need to. Here, let your head relax, shake it out. Let your arms relax. Maybe hold your elbows to give a little traction on your spine. Take a big inhale breath through your nose, widening both sides of the body, widening your sits bones, making space through width. One more big breath, inhale to the side body. And on the exhale, take the tips of your toes and your heels and push them into the ground and towards each other, and let that initiate a roll back up. One bone at a time, back to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale again, hands come down, nod your chin at the same time. Soften your sternum. Send your sternum between your shoulder blades. Start to roll forward, feeling that spine lift up and over, up and over. When you get to your liver area, pause, take a little sip of air through the nose to the back side of your spine. And then exhale, ha breath. See if you can feel your liver lift up and over as you continue to roll down one bone at a time. Pelvis lifts up and over. Bend your knees as much as you need to keep your weight 60-40. 3 breaths here. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. From here, you're going to put your hands on the ground. Lift the base of your head, base of your skull on an inhale, so you're in a flat back position. Then you're just going to walk your hands out, coming down onto your knees. Flatten your feet out. So you're sitting back into a Japanese sit, as long as it's comfortable. If it's not comfortable in your knees, you might want to use the coregeous ball or a pillow between your heels and your butt. From here, all you're going to do is use your hands to pound your quads out like a little quad massage. Make sure you're breathing while you're doing this, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. After 3 or 4 times up and down, you'll come off of your heels, flip your toes under, stand back up, walk your hands back into that forward fold we were just in. Take a big breath, and then exhale, roll yourself up, one bone at a time. Coming back into your standing position, let's just do one quick check-in with our body scan to see how that little bit of spinal articulation, quad massage, and breathing may have changed things. Here, I'll have you do a range of motion check too. So you might want to check your hamstrings and just a flat back forward fold. Perhaps you just want to kick one leg out in front of you and bow over it, so you can address each hamstring range of motion on its own. Maybe you check your arms up overhead. You can even check an internal rotation. Or maybe it's simply a squat. Notice how it feels, what it feels like. And then we're going to grab one of your therapy balls for some foot massage. So you're going to start on your right side. You're going to bring the ball right under the big toe joint here, the ball of your foot. specifically the big toe. Make sure your feet are staggered so you feel a little bit more balanced. Right now, weight is on your back leg and on your front heel. You're going to just shift your weight forward. And what that does is as you shift forward, your body weight presses down on the ball and the ball presses back on your foot, causing the joint to be elevated. So that's what we want, is first metatarsal joint elevation. We'll do 4 at each joint. So that's 4 on the big toe. You're going to slide over to the second toe. For some of us, the second toe joint is actually a little bit farther forward than the big toe. Others, it's in the same line. So find where yours are. If you have to go and feel it, like make a knuckle and feel where that knuckle is, go ahead and do that. We'll just do 4 of them. Rocking back and forth. Nothing special, just noticing how it feels to have that specific joint be elevated. After the second toe, we'll move to the third toe, which is lower down, meaning closer to the heel. Same thing, rocking back and forth. If the joint has a habit of being stuck in depression, so stuck lower, this can sometimes be a little bit more intense. So for me, I notice that on my third and fourth toe, it starts to feel a little bit more intense, and that's because these ones tend to be stuck down for me. If I were to make a knuckle with my toes, those ones I'd actually have a hard time seeing when they're depressed like this. So we're trying to restore those knuckles. After the fourth one, moving on to the fourth toe. So again, it's even closer to your heel, just rocking back and forth. And then to the pinky toe, which is even closer. This one sometimes tends to be hypermobile, so you might have some feelings here of that extra mobility. In that case, I want you to go slow and really notice and try to make it even, right? Don't go excessive. So maybe you're doing the fourth and fifth toe together. Nice. From there, come off the ball. Just do a quick body scan. Just noticing how just elevating the metatarsal joints, how that changed things. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that ball behind the joints, just behind the joints and in the middle. So it's usually like, depending on the size of the ball, it's sort of splaying the middle 3 joints. Then what I want you to do, again, good stance, slightly bent knee. You're going to straighten out the toes and then fold them over the edge. Try to fold them with flat toes, so this is not gripping the ground. This is folding them over. So it's like you're making a tent, right? And this is one that you can help it out if you want with your fingers, especially those stiff knuckles. And I'll do 10 of these. When you're opening and folding like this is really widening out our forefoot. It feels very good, like a stretch on the top of your foot. Good. After that, come on off of it again. Check back in with your quick body scan. Notice how you feel, how it's changing that whole right side. Now come into that same position, heels on the ground, balls still in that similar spot behind the joints of the ball of the foot. And then what you're going to do, make sure the knee is bent, and you're going to rotate in the midfoot area, dipping the big toe joint down towards the ground, and then the pinky one. So try to make sure that's just foot mobility and not the whole leg and knee, right? Or even the whole body. So it might look smaller for you. I have pretty good mobility in my midfoot, so I can demonstrate a lot of it. So again, too, make sure it's not at your ankle bone, but it's actually midfoot. So I'll pull my pants up so you can see a little bit. So when it's midfoot, it's looks disassociated from ankle. When it's ankle, it's flat. So I don't want this flat thing. I'd want it to be a twist. So the forefoot is twisting in farther than the ankle is. So even though it's a mobility drill, it's requiring some active stabilization of my ankle as well. So just 4 on each side, then come off of it. Come back into your standing position and do a quick body scan. Take a breath, inhale through your nose. And notice even it might make your whole right side of your rib cage fill up with air a little bit better. You can do your range of motion check. Maybe that was arms overhead or internal rotation. Or maybe it was a squat or a flat back or hamstring check. All of those actually feel a little bit better on me, which is great. So now we're going to do the other side. So pull up these long pants so you can see a little bit better. You're going to have a staggered stance, a little bit wider base, heel on the ground, ball right under the big toe joint, and then you're just going to shift your weight forward and back. So shift forward, weight drives that knuckle up through the ball. Doing your best to breathe, paying attention to what you're feeling. After 4 on the first joint, you're moving to the second, which may or may not be level or a little bit farther toward your toes. If you're unsure, go ahead and touch it to make sure. Moving to the third toe, a little bit closer to your heel. 4 times. To the fourth toe. And then to the fifth toe. And then back to our standing check-in. Start to notice how that feels, comparing it to both the right side and then our starting check-in. Then we're going to the metatarsal phalangeal flexion. So bring the ball right behind the joints, straight toes, wide toes, and then flex down. Trying to flex right at that metatarsal phalangeal joint that we just elevated. Sometimes I like to mirror it in my hands. It's a little easier for my brain to connect the motion. But we're not gripping flat toes. About 10 of those. Come on off, give your foot a break, come back to your check-in. And then moving on to the mid-foot rotation. So bring the ball right back where it was, behind the joints. Bend your knee. Keep your weight a little bit on the back leg so you don't have too much body weight on this. And then you're going to try to keep your ankle still, but twist the big toe joint in and then the pinky out. Toe in, 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 pinky out. Good. That's the last one there. Go ahead and re-scan quickly. How do you feel in standing? Take a deep breath. Now I'm feeling both ribs expand to the sides. Check your arms. Maybe check your internal rotation. Check your squat. Forward bend. Hamstrings. Good. From there, we're going to do a big toe joint stretch. You're going to take that ball back to the right side. You're going to start on that big toe joint again. And then what I want you to do is scooch back until the ball of your foot hits the ground, so your toe is lifted up on that. So I'll show you from the side too so you can see it. So I start on the ball of the foot, and then I just slide my heel back, which starts to extend my toe up the side of the ball until the joint is on the ground. Once the joint is on the ground, I'm going to secure it there, bend my knee, and start to bring my knee forward in more of a traditional calf stretch. Okay? Bent knee calf stretch. When I get to the end range of motion, first thing I'm going to do is just like a sweeping knee motion. So inside and outside, inside and outside. So coming into like hip internal rotation and then back to neutral. After those four, what I'm going to do is adjust it if needed. That might have got me a little bit more range of motion, which is exactly what happened. And then what I'm going to do is actively use my toe flexor. So I'm going to push my big toe into the ball like I'm trying to squeeze the ball into the floor. Hold that for 6 seconds. And then when I relax, I'm going to see if I can bring my knee any more forward. So do 3 of those. Push your big toe into the ball. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. See if you can get your knee to go any more forward. Last one. Push into the ball with your big toe. Might get harder at this end range of motion. That's okay. 2, 1. And relax and see if you got any more range of motion and just hold there. Breathing into that space where you feel that stretch, maybe on the outside of your Achilles tendon, maybe deep to the Achilles tendon, or maybe through the arch, maybe through the toe. Everybody's different. And then back off. Come off the ball. Come back into our standing check-in. And notice what that did. Check your ranges of motion. Check your breath. Forward fold. Hamstring. Oh yeah. Oh, that made my body happy. And then squat. Yeah, that was a good one for me. Okay, moving on to the left side. So take that ball, bring it back under the ball of your foot, big toe, and then slide it back until your big toe's on the ground. So I'll show it from the side again. So start here to orient yourself, and you're just going to slide back until your toe joint hits the ground. Once you're there, stagger your stance, connect that joint onto the ground, keep it there the whole time. As you bend your knee, bring your body forward over the ball. From here, we've got the knee sweeping arcs. So in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. See if that got you any more range of motion. Yep, I'm going to adjust it a little bit, bringing my toe joint closer to get more extension on my toe. Then again, send my knees forward, end range of motion, and then use the strength, pressing my big toe into the ball. Hold that contraction for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when I relax, I'm going to see if I can get more range of motion out of it. Again, push into the ball with the big toe. Hold that contraction for 6 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Can you get any more range of motion out of it? Make sure your pelvis isn't accommodating. Push into the ball last time. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Go to your end range. Hold there. The last little bit of a stretch. and then come out of it. Recheck. Come back into standing. Notice how you feel. Do a breath. Notice where it goes. Check your range of motion, shoulder flexion, shoulder internal rotation, hamstring single leg, flat back, forward fold, squat. All the things. So from here, we're going to actually move in to some floor work. So on the floor, if you have a prop to sit on, great. If not, no big deal. You're just going to start with a check-in here too. So from here, pick a seated position to check. So maybe that's cross leg. Maybe that's legs in a long sit. Maybe that is a butterfly position. Whatever you want to check is fine. I like to check in with my cross leg. I'll come off the mat so I can get a better idea of what it feels like. And here you're going to check in. Notice what it feels like in each leg. How much of your leg you feel on the ground. Maybe if you can describe the shape of your pelvis, what is that? How does your spine feel? Does it feel like an effort to be sitting here? Are you holding yourself up? Or are you just relaxed? Take a deep breath, inhale through your nose. Notice how and where your breath goes. So from here, we're going to take 2 balls. They just need to be the same size, ideally. So, whichever ones you would like, big or small, and you're going to come to lie on your back. And take those balls while you're lying on your back. You're going to put them right in your back pocket area. Once you're in the area that the balls are in your back pocket, you're going to adjust them. You'll know where they need to be. You know, it might be a little bit tender. They're in the back of your hips. And I want you to just direct your breath there. So inhaling through your nose. And then exhaling out your mouth. From here, you're going to widen your feet, dorsiflex your ankles, and then let your knees fall in towards each other. Coming into hip internal rotation. This is going to stretch the area where the balls are. You're going to do 2 breaths here. And as you inhale, I want you to imagine your sits bones widening and maybe your knees coming closer together. Even if they don't actually come together, I want you to imagine that happening. See if you can feel a little bit more stretch. Last breath like that. And then on the exhale, walk your feet all the way together. And then slowly let your knees fall open in like a butterfly stretch. This is going to shorten the muscle where the balls are, and it gets a little bit more intense, puts a little bit more pressure on them. If it's too uncomfortable, you can adjust where the balls are, or you can just not let your knees fall all the way open. You are in control of the range of motion. From there, you're just going to hold for 2 breaths, breathing into the balls. Feeling when you breathe into the balls, maybe your pelvis rocks towards your feet a little bit. Then you're going to do a motion with your breath. So on the inhale, your knees are going to come towards each other. And on the exhale, they're going to open up for 4. So inhale. Feel everything open to the sides. And then exhale, knees open, sits bones come together. So inhale, sits bones widen, the stretch goes over the balls. And then exhale, sits bones narrow, knees open, and the stretch intensifies over the ball. 2 more like that. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, knees apart. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, knees apart. Last one. Inhale, knees up. And then exhale, just bring your feet back to flat on the mat. Gently raise your hips up, move the balls, and lower down, and just notice how you feel. Before we do our check-in, we're going to do our psoas area in our low back. So you're going to take these same balls, and if I don't want the balls to be super hard, so if these ones feel too hard for you, I want you to put a towel roll over them, or make sure you're laying on a mat so it's a little bit more squishy, or you can use one of the orange Franklin balls as well. But I think should be all right, especially because we're going to do 2 sides at the same time. So you're going to bring those balls in the small of your back between the bones, right? So between the pelvis and the rib cage. So it's not on ribs and it's not on your pelvis. But then on either side of your spine. So it's not on the spine bones either. It's just right in the small of your back. And then direct your breath there. So on an inhale breath, I want you to imagine your diaphragm flattening out. So your inhale breath pushes the ribs out to the side and allows for the diaphragm to flatten out, which imagine it could push the balls closer to your pelvis. And then on the exhale, you're going to feel the diaphragm come back up and almost like pull the balls with it up, right? So you're imagining this happening. Imagine what it would feel like if that would happen. Taking an inhale breath and pushing the balls toward your pelvis. And then taking an exhale breath and feeling them get sucked back up toward your diaphragm. 4 breaths like this. So 2 more. After that 4th breath, you're going to press your heel away on the right side. Like you're going to push your heel through the wall that's in front of you. Take a big breath here again. Inhale, imagine that ball presses back. And on the exhale, start to slide your heel back up all the way till it floats up off the ground. And then 1 more breath. Inhale into the ball, pressing it away. And then exhale, lower the heel down and press it all the way out. 4 of those. Inhale for length. Exhale, slide your heel up until it just floats off the ground. And then inhale, hold. Exhale, lower down. Press it all the way out. Let that heel bring your exhale all the way out. Inhale, keep that length. Feel that stretch in the front of your body. And then on the exhale, slide your heel back up. Last one. Inhale into that spot on the right side. And then exhale, just lower your leg back down. Now we'll do the left. Take an inhale breath into that space. And then on the exhale, press your heel out, slide it along the mat as if you're pushing it through the wall in front of you. See that you can make as much length from above your belly button to your big toe joint. Inhale here for length. And on the exhale, dig your heel into the ground and slide it all the way back to your sits bones until it floats up and brings your leg up to 90. Hold here, inhale into that area where the ball is at, and then exhale, lower it down, and slide it all the way out. At the end of that exhale and that slide, keep the leg there, inhale. Feel if you can feel that stretch across the front of your body, and then exhale, slide your heel back up, float it up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, dorsiflex, slide the heel away all along the mat. Push it away. See if you can push from above your belly button. Inhale, and then exhale, dig it into the ground, slide it all the way back to the sit bone, float back up. Last one. Inhale in that space, and then exhale, lower it down, press the leg away. Inhale here. Exhale it back up. Take an inhale breath. And on this exhale, just bring your foot back towards the mat. And then roll to one side, grab one ball, roll to the other side, grab the other ball. Take a second to notice how you feel laying on your back. And then roll to your side and come up to your seated position to check back in. So now we're back in our seated position and just doing a check-in. So whatever was your check-in position, now go one more time. How does each leg feel? What does your pelvis feel like? Take a breath. Where's your breath go now? How does your spine feel? Good. From here, we're going to take the coregeous ball. We're going to do our little neck massage. So you're going to take the ball, bring it to your neck, and you're going to give a little bit of a skin stretch on your neck. Maybe let's start on the left side. So left side of your neck, you're going to do skin stretch to the right, and then maintain that skin stretch, and you're going to start to rotate your head to the left. Relax your jaw. Be gentle as you come across the front structures. They move pretty easily, but you don't want to smash them. Keep that rotational skin stretch on as you come all the way over to that right side. As close to your ear or behind your ear as you can get. Once you're there, you're going to reverse the stretch. So you're going to stay on the skin, but stretch over to the left. And then your head starts to travel over to the right. Relax your jaw. Open your mouth. You come across trachea, be gentle. Come all the way to the left side, under or behind your ear. 2 more times. So rotate to the right with the ball, rotate your head to the left. Open your mouth, relax the jaw. When you get to the right side, reverse the stretch on the ball, reverse the range of motion with the neck. Place the ball down. Recheck your seated position. Notice how just that work on your neck changed your pelvis. How did it change your legs? Take a breath in through the nose. How did it change your breath? How did it change your spine? From here, you're going to keep with the coregeous ball, and you're going to bring it right on your sternum. So right below your throat, right between the notches of your collarbones. You're going to bring the ball there, and you're going to push into it, right? So grab the skin again with a skin stretch, push in and down, and then you're going to bring your elbows up and then bring them all the way down. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you might notice as you do this, the ball travels down your skin a little bit. That's totally fine. Last one. Good. Put the ball down, come back and check. Pelvis, legs, breath, spine. Now we're going to take the coregeous ball and come to lie on our right side. So the ball is going to be right on the bones of our rib cage, right? So right on our liver, so right below our nipple line. Ideally, if it can be on skin, great. If not, no big deal. When it's on skin, you always get the added benefit of the little bit of a skin stretch that happens too. But just being on the ball is enough. You're going to breathe into the ball through your nose. Hold your breath, push pressure into the ball, and then exhale, curl around it. 4 breaths like this. Inhale into the ball. Hold your breath, press into it. And then exhale, curl around it. So that's 2. For the next one, I'm going to have you rotate a little bit to the front. Same thing. Inhale into the ball. Hold your breath, push into it. And then exhale, curl over it. Last breath like this. Hold, press into it. Exhale, curl over it. Once you're done on the right, you're going to come back up into our seated check-in. Notice how you feel. Check in with the pelvis. Check in with the legs. Check in with the breath. Check in with the spine. And then come on your left side. Same placement for the left. You're going to be on the bones, just under your nipple line. Come down to rest on your head. You're going to inhale through your nose as if you were inhaling into the ball. Hold your breath, push the pressure into the ball, and then exhale, curl over it. Inhale into the ball, hold your breath, push into it, exhale, curl over it. Again, inhale into the ball, hold, push into it, exhale, curl over it. Now we're going to add a little rotation, so rotate towards the ground. The ball comes a little bit more forward. Support your head. Inhale into the ball. Hold your breath, push pressure into it. And then exhale, curl over it. Last one. Inhale into the ball. Hold, push pressure. Exhale, curl over it. Make your way back up to seated. With your check-in, how does your pelvis feel? How do your legs feel? Check in with your breath. How does your spine feel? So from here, we're going to work our way back up to standing. You're going to come to all fours. So hands and knees, nice wide fingers. Think about pressing the tips of your fingers into the ground, ball of your hand, and then bring your chest over, dorsiflex your feet, lift your head up, base of the skull lifts up, take an inhale breath, feel yourself curl your body up towards the sky. Exhale, hold there, reinforce it. Next inhale, come into a cat. One more cow. Then you're going to push back or flip your toes in or push your hips back. Walk your hands back to your feet. Being in that forward fold, bend your knees as much as you need to so your weight is 60-40 on your feet. Inhale here. Feel the width of your body. On the next exhale, you're going to push the tips of your toes into the floor of your heels. Come down and towards your toes, and then let that initiate a roll up, one bone at a time, back into a standing position. You're going to just recheck things, right? How's your shoulder flexion? How's your internal rotation? How's your squat? Single leg hammy. Double leg forward fold. Notice what's changed. And then come back into standing position, maybe walk in place a few times for your final body scan. Close your eyes, starting at your feet. Where does the weight feel? How does it compare to when we began? Right to left, front to back, inside to outside. Moving into your lower legs and shins. Are they parallel? Is there a rotation? Into your knees. Are they locked out or soft? If you dropped a plumb line down from them, where would they land in your foot? Moving into your thighs. How much tension are in your quads or your hamstrings? How much skin do you feel of each of them? Are they pressing against each other? Are you more aware than one than the other? Moving into your pelvis. How much tension do you feel? Does it feel like your pelvis is tilted forward? How about your spine? Any pressure, tension? Where are your curves? How is your belly? Into your rib cage, take a little bit deeper breath. Inhale through your nose. Notice where your breath goes. Checking with your shoulders and your hands. Are they level in the same plane? If I'm looking from behind, what do I see in your hands? Moving to your head and neck. Are there curves in your neck? Does your head feel on top of everything, or in front, or in back? Is the line out from your nostrils parallel to the ground, angled up or down? How soft do your eyes feel? How do your ears feel level? What sounds are you hearing? And then just take one step back further. Notice how your space feels. Does it feel like there is more space around you, between you and maybe the objects next to you or the people next to you? Do you feel like you own a little bit more space in the world now? Take an inhale breath in through your nose. And then big exhale out your mouth. And that's it. Thanks for joining me for Regen today.